Hello everyone, welcome back to the I Just Reddit channel. Today we have two more stories from relationship advice. The first deals with a young woman who inherited a lot of money and is embarrassed because her friends and boyfriend hate rich people. The second deals with a young woman who found out her sister and her boyfriend had a prior relationship before they met. I for one must say gross. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This story is titled, How Do I, Female 21, Tell My Friends and Boyfriend That I'm Actually Rich? I inherited the money from my employer who unfortunately passed away. It was enough money that I helped my family, donated to my favorite charities and now live off it pretty comfortably not having to work. At the time I inherited the money, I was in my first year of college and didn't have any friends. Since then I developed some really close friendships and now have a boyfriend. My family knows how much I'm worth, they call me ATM now lol, and advised me to never tell anyone about how much money I have. So I wouldn't be taken advantage of since I am a bit of a pushover. I've stayed silent about it but now I'm feeling extremely guilty about it. I've bought myself a house but still pretend that I live with my parents to keep up the broke college student persona. I told my friends that I work at a hospital, which is true, but as a volunteer since I have no need for an income. I only sleep over at my boyfriend Jacob's fake name place on occasion since he works a lot to afford to live on his own. Anytime any of my friends have ever offered to pick me up, I've lied and met up with them at the location so they wouldn't see my house. I still am close friends with my deceased boss family and hang out with them often. They are old money rich and their wealth was obtained through oil and gas, but their ancestors made some unethical business decisions along the way. I have been feeling guilty for a couple reasons. To be frank, my friends are a group of militant socialists who wholeheartedly believe in eating the rich and seemingly despise the 1%. There's nothing wrong with being a socialist. I consider myself a liberal, but I'm afraid of how they react if they found out I'm part of the 1% and associate with other 1%ers and pretend to be broke on top of that. I don't want them to hate me. The other reason is Jacob. His family is currently struggling paying medical bills because both of his parents spent a week in the ICU after contracting COVID. He talks to me about how tired he is from working and how he doesn't want to see his family struggle. I feel extremely guilty because I can pay off their bills easily, but that would lead them to finding out how much money I have. I've asked my family what I should do, but they are still firm on me not telling anyone about my money so I won't get taken advantage of. I honestly don't know what to do. I want to help Jacob because I love him and his family and I don't want to keep up the lie with my friends forever. Any advice is greatly appreciated. Comment 1. Hi Op, firstly I'd like to say that I am really very sorry that you feel so threatened by your friends and their view on the wealthy. Part of me wants to believe that they would still love you regardless, but with the general feel of social tensions right now, I have to agree with your family and suggest that you keep your wealth a secret from them. I'm sure they're lovely people, but if they are absolutely firm in what they believe in, to the point that you describe them as militant, then it is probably not a good idea to divulge your secret to them. As far as your boyfriend goes, it seems like he is a great guy who works hard and genuinely cares for you and his family. I don't believe in lying in a relationship, so personally I think you should tell him, especially because later down the line, it could definitely affect the way he views you. Think of it this way. You tell everyone you work, but you only volunteer. You tell everyone you live with your parents and you're avoiding allowing anyone into your home. These sorts of things can actually hurt your relationship when it progresses further. When you two agree to move in together, what will you say then? You should move in with me because, oh by the way, I own a house outright and my parents don't actually live there. And what if you end up in a situation where you both have to provide pay stubs or records of income? Isn't he going to be suspicious then when you can't provide any? Or when he notices that the amount of money you put into the household doesn't match what you should be making on your work volunteer hours? Is it fair for you to just volunteer occasionally and do nothing to bring in more money to the house while he works his butt off, possibly believing that you two having a nice future depends on his hard work? When it comes to your boyfriend, I think you should tell him. Especially if you really love this guy and plan to move forward in life with him. Maybe now is not the time, but you should at some point before you get too serious, otherwise he may feel like your whole end of the relationship was a lie. I wish you safety, peace, and happiness while you deal with this crossroads in your life. In the end, you must do what is best for you. I urge you to think through any decision here before you move forward. You can keep a secret, but you can't take it back once it's told. Comment 2. Hi op, it's pretty late in the story but I thought I'd give my 2 cents. 1. Why don't you work? Some of your feelings about your money might be because you don't see it as your money. So go earn some money. You volunteer at the hospital, how about working there? 2. You can't have a life where you lie to everyone that isn't your family. Right now you lie a lot. About your job, where you live, and fundamentally about who you are. You are not broke. Pretending to be will not only eat you up inside but also when your lie is discovered, and it will be discovered one way or another, you will lose your relationships. You don't have to tell people you are rich. You don't have to tell people exactly how much money you have. But acknowledging that you came into an inheritance that has given you the gift of being able to choose what type of life you live will probably set you free. If your friends don't want to be your friend, fine. You can build new friendships. 3. Speak to other people with a lot of money, deal with people with a lot of money. You are not the first person to have this problem. There is a reason wealth managers are often psychologists first. Talk to someone about this. Someone who is used to high net worth individuals. I'm sure your family is trying to help you but they have no experience with these situations. Find someone who does, who can talk to you about how to handle this. I hope that this inheritance can be what your boss wanted it to be, a boon to your life. You sound like a thoughtful and kind soul. Good luck and I hope you find your balance. Comment 3. Are these people even your friends if they'll judge and drop you because you inherited money? I want to add something. Struggle is all over the place and you can't financially take care of everyone. Perhaps you surprise your boyfriend with paying off a bill of his. This doesn't reveal your wealth, but it's a financial burden off his shoulders. Even for his parents, you could do a secret payment of their bills once without revealing it's you. I do agree with your family, especially if you're a pushover. Revealing wealth when they haven't earned your trust is a bad idea. People will start expecting you to cover everything, and that's how you truly lose friends over money. However, having your friends pick you up at your house shouldn't be a big deal. Say you've saved and you inherited the money for the house and that's that. No need to get into details about your money. You have control what you share, so grow a backbone. Don't let yourself get used and don't apologize for being gifted money. Comment 4. Set up a GoFundMe for his parents, then leave an anonymous big donation. That way, his parents will be helped, and nobody will know it's from you. Just a suggestion. Might not work. I don't know, sorry. Good luck. Update. So not many people saw my original post, but I wanted to post an update for anyone who still remembers it. I apologize for any formatting issues. I began to distance myself from friends because I quickly realized they sucked as human beings. They haven't reached out to me in a while, but I'm okay with that. I took the advice of creating a GoFundMe and each day I put a certain amount so it wouldn't look weird or suspicious. It took me about a week to pay off the amount of their bills and some extra money. I went over to my boyfriend's place and told him that I created a GoFundMe for his family. It didn't go well at all. He was quiet at first but increasingly became more upset. He was upset that I would even create them one. He didn't want anyone to know that his family was struggling. I was confused. I didn't understand why he would worry about his family's financial situation but get upset at the fact that someone else paid off the debt. We went back and forth and each time he became more aggressive. I had never seen him this mad. He began to bring stuff up about our relationship. He berated me. I finally got the courage to yell back at him and he did not like it at all. He slapped me hard, knocking off my glasses in the process and busting my lip. He immediately apologized after that, but I left. I went to my parents' house and told them everything that happened. They weren't happy, to say the least. They called my brothers to come over. My brothers went ballistic and were getting ready to fight my boyfriend. One of my brothers called him and threatened to beat him with a bat for hitting me. Soon after that, the cops came to our house. Jacob called the cops because he fears for his safety. Everything calmed down and the cops left. A few days passed and I ignored any messages or phone calls from Jacob. I did end up contacting his parents and gave them the money. I told them that Jacob and I broke up, but I still wanted to give them the money. I did pick up one of his calls and he was crying throughout the call. He was apologizing, promising to never hit me again, and he didn't want to lose me. I broke up with him. He screamed that he was going to kill himself and didn't want me to leave him. I hung up and called his parents and explained the situation. They were appalled but thanked me and wished me the best and told me they would take care of him. That was a week ago. I don't regret the GoFundMe. Jacob's parents are great people and very kind. I might be friendless, but that's okay. I have my family. So that's the update. I'm not sure where to go from here, but oh well. I appreciate everyone who messaged me and gave me advice on my last post. I wish everyone a happy and healthy life. Edit. So, I want to clear up a few things since I've gotten a few messages. 1. Yes, I understand the privilege I have now. It wasn't always like that. I immigrated with my family to the US when I was a young girl. My father is a teacher and my mom used to clean houses to bring in extra money. We were pretty poor for most of my childhood. 2. I did not sleep with my boss. He was gay. 3. I have nothing against socialism nor the raising of taxes of the wealthy. 4. I learned about this a few hours ago. Jacob's church was going to do the same thing and surprise them with the money. So, it wasn't really a secret that they were struggling. 5. What happened with GameStop and the hedge fund guys is pretty funny. Most of those people are assholes, so their meltdowns were amusing. 6. I inherited this money about a year and a half ago. This next story is titled, My 23 female boyfriend, 24, of 2 years slept with my sister, 24, before we met and it's making me very insecure. So, I just found out that my boyfriend of 2 years had a short casual relationship with my older sister. It's really hurting me to find this out. Me and my sister have always been competing with each other and I've always lost. I'm 2 years younger than her. I've always been the ugly, less successful sister. She got into a great college and I got rejected from it. She's always been the favorite child. She's always been fighting off boys with a stick and I've struggled to get attention from men. She used to love rubbing it in my face how much better she was. She eventually grew out of that, but I still know she feels that way. My boyfriend told me a few weeks ago, because we were talking about our future together and we both see us being with each other for a long time. He wanted to get that secret off his chest, but I really wish I had never known. He went to my sister's college for a year before transferring to mine. In that year, he had a casual relationship with my sister. He said that there were no romantic feelings involved and it was just physical, which is just awful to hear. He wanted her so badly that he was willing to be with her sexually and have no romantic attachment to her. I'm usually not a jealous person, but now that I know it was her, I can't stop thinking about it. Like I said, she's always been prettier than me, and she has a better body, and I know she's more experienced than me, so she probably was able to do things for him that I can't replicate. I've only been with my boyfriend and I'm built like a little boy. I'm worried that she was so much better than me in bed and I just can't compare. I don't know what would be worse. My boyfriend comparing us mentally, or him knowing I'm not that good and not wanting me to be better for him. I don't want to end our relationship. I love him so much and he's the best thing that's happened to me, but this is just so hard to know. How do I get over this? Comment 1. If you don't think you can get over it, moving on is the best answer. Honestly, I think the biggest issue here isn't that he slept with your sister before dating you, it's that he waited 2 years to tell you about it. And his motivation for telling you was to make himself feel better, getting the secret off his chest. Comment 2. I think you're selling yourself short. I'm sure you're just as pretty, smart, and obviously more sympathetic than your sister. Your boyfriend thinks so since he's with you. Getting rejected from a college in a given year has nothing to do with you and more to do with the competition you're going against. The year she got accepted may have had a smaller amount of qualified candidates than the year you applied. They can't accept everyone, so you may have been one of the unlucky ones that got rejected. As for the dynamic with your boyfriend and your sister, I just find that a little unsettling. Being with someone that has been with a sibling or a really good friend prior to you is a huge deal breaker. You can't unopen that can of worms. You're always going to think about this and it will eventually ruin your relationship. Comment 3. I would definitely not want to be with someone who had any type of relationship with my sister. The fact that he waited 2 years to say something is really deceitful because he waited until you were attached to tell you something that is a deal breaker for most people. You don't need another reason to compare yourself to your sister. Thank you so very much for listening. Please check out my other videos and like and subscribe.